Today I'm going to be doing my presentation on Hirohiko Araki, the author and creator of many manga series, but most importantly, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Let's kick it off with his biography. His birth name is Toshiyuki Araki. He's better known as Hirohiko Araki, which he used as his pen name. He was born in the Wakabayashi ward in Sendai, Japan, in the year 1960. He grew up in Sendai with his parents and twin sisters. He cited his twin sisters as inspiration for him starting drawing and artwork because they annoyed him, and he locked himself in his room and looked at French art books that his dad had owned, which is where he got the inspiration for a lot of his art style. He was interested in manga and art at a young age, and he began drawing in his early teens. He submitted his first work to a manga magazine behind his parents' back during his first year of high school. That work was somewhat successful, and then he had more successful works in the 1970s and the early 80s, but his magnum opus, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, started serializing in 1986 or 1987. His major works included Cool Shock BT, which serialized from 1983 to late 1983. It's where he started using a lot of interesting line work and surreal colors in his art. Bao, in 1984 to 1985, started using his poses and his overly masculine figures that he would use for the first half of his career. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure from 1986 to now is his most influential and most amazing work, which gained him most of his popularity. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is his most influential work. It spans 9 parts that take place in different time periods from 1899 all the way to 2020, following a member of the Joestar family. It has many genres, including mystery, thriller, action, and adventure. It starts off in 1800s England, following Jonathan Joestar fighting for his love Erina against his evil vampire stepbrother Dio. It sounds absurd, but this part was really what got him started with his overly masculine, muscular figures fighting using martial arts. This is what was popular at the time, and it inspired many other works like Fist of the North Star. But his writing was different than others because it was a lot more emotional. His characters really showed emotion, and he had men talking about their feelings, and he was one of the first Japanese manga artists to do it and still make it cool. It's followed on with part 2, following Jonathan's grandson in the 1940s, and then after that it went to part 3, which I'll talk about in the next slide. This series has sold over 150 million copies, making it one of the most successful Japanese comic book series. It was so influential because of its over-exaggerated art style and proportions and flamboyant poses, which started in part 3, which introduced the power system called stands, or fighting spirits, which became the series' trademark. Part 3 was the most popular part, and it was what got him started making movies and TV series from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It had a lot of fighting and action, but it also had a great storyline that is what really got me hooked. And then part 4, he started naming characters after Western pop culture icons and songs, bringing them into the Japanese market. This got him famous in America because of the funny names of his characters and the ridiculous things that they would do, and how he took inspiration from all of these songs to make the characters' powers resonate with the lyrics of these songs. His impact was great. His art was featured in the Louvre Museum. His detailed figures, intricate poses, and surreal colors are his trademark. He was able to make Japanese comic books something to be proud of. He was able to make comic book writing something to be proud of through his success. He won awards, and he made it something to want to be. People were hiding the fact that they wrote these comics back in the 80s when he started. He had to hide it from his own parents, and he was one of the people who turned it into something to be proud of. He inspired many other people with his way of drawing combat, with these drawn-out scenes, throwing punches and repeating phrases. He inspired people like Kento Miura, who created Berserk, with his masculine figures and his strong characters and his emotional depiction of male characters, which wasn't common at the time. He also inspired the creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama, with his fight scenes and his way of showing emotion during combat, and his stopping and pausing the fight to talk between the villain and heroes to get exposition in a slightly unnatural, slightly comical, but interesting way. His art and his stories really inspire me. They got me into reading more. I used to only read comic books, and then him being inspired by certain things got me checking out more, and it was just, he's one of my favorite authors, and I am glad to be able to share his work with you today.